Greetings everybody, good morning, good day, good whatever it might be for you. Welcome back to another live stream. I don't know what number, because I messed up the numbers recently, so I don't know anymore. Hello, how you doing? How you doing it well? How you doing, Natalie? How you all doing? I've noticed one thing while waiting to start. This train is stuck. You're in a meeting right now. If you're in a meeting right now, then you should be in the meeting and not watching this. So I'd advise not watching until after the meeting. Yes. I'm gonna reset this train real quick. This train seems to be very... Oh! Oh, now it's driving! What the f... It didn't find a path or something? It got stuck? I don't know what... Oh, whoa. Whoa. Anyway, how are you all doing? We just fixed this. Yeah, I'm doing fine. Yesterday, I managed to win an auction again. A little shunting engine. A BR80. So, yeah, that's fun. It's a little costly, but it has sound and it has everything. And so, yeah, fine. Yes. And with that, I can actually make a little model railroad scene, maybe. I'm thinking about starting something. Might be cool. Anyway, what I want to do today is work over on Westford, as the description of the live stream says. I don't know what I want to do exactly. Since I haven't been able to do MC a lot the past few days. Well, I have done some MC, but mostly video stuff. Or, well, not really. Yes, MC, no MC. Sort of MC. Yes. So yeah, let me get to here first, and then we'll see from there. Because, of course, last stream we filled in this giant area. You're sick and struggling to sleep. Well, that's not good. I hope you get better soon. I was gonna ask how are you doing, but that doesn't make any sense at all then. Because apparently you're not doing that good. Let me just clear this out real quick. I need one more dirt. Thanks. Wait, there's water under there? Let me just... There's just a few blocks, but I want these filled as well. Okay, there we go. That's better. Apparently your trains are still driving. Another thing, I just joined after a few days of not being on the server really. And yeah, everything was still working and driving and going. And I was like, seems like all of our fixes in the past work pretty well. I don't know at how many cycles we are right now with the trains, but it doesn't really matter, I think. I want to set up the dike maybe, and I want to work on the roads also. Is this too tall? It goes from 0 till really high up. This thing always bugs out. I need some fix for that. Why does it do that though? Oh, I think it just starts a new cycle. It doesn't see the old cycle anymore. Well, I might need to chunk load this. For now, I will leave it. Because, yeah, we can easily reset it anyway. I was going to fill in this, but I can do that later. I'm just thinking what I have to do here. It's multiple things, of course. But let me first off clear this little hill. So, what I want to do today is I want to get some roads in. I want to have this road, of course. And I want to connect it up to that road, probably. Does that leave me enough space for buildings here? Yeah, I think so. With maybe some backyards or something. On the riverside. Well, we're gonna see about that. But before we do that, we first need a plan here. And I might need to build a bridge today. I might want to do that in game. I don't know yet. Let me get some materials out of here. Or let me check if there are enough materials. That's more what I... Let me see. What is in here? Nothing. Empty. There's only one thing in there, and that's called emptiness. So yeah, today I had no clue what to do, honestly. I'm gonna be honest with you. I just was like, I have no idea. We're gonna see. Yes, I need to set up the roads and stuff, of course, and I think I have an idea for that because I want a roundabout, right? I want a little bit of a roundabout there, and then I want a road going this way and a road going that way. That's all I know. Do I want trams? Maybe. Maybe not. It was an original plan, so the first plans did have trams in it, but yeah. Yes, let me just get some stuff and let's just get going because that's easiest, I think. Let me first get some stone so we can make a sidewalk near our station, of course. Are we gonna... Oh... no, that's fine. Yeah, we're gonna lower the roads by 1 over here everywhere. So this is the sidewalk level, and then road is gonna be 1 lower here, and road is gonna be 1 lower there. Yeah, okay, so that will work. Will it work? I think it will. Okay, so let's just get some stone ready, and let's fill in that sidewalk. Sorry, to sneeze there. Yeah, as I was saying, I'm working in the background on some videos and things as well. I'm exporting lots of replays, so we have that ready for the future. But yeah, outside of that, I'm not really doing too much. I mean, I had some other things this week, but I think there's really nothing to tell, I guess. I'm just gonna take the 1 block with me as well. So I'm thinking if we do it till here, then we're gonna go forward. Like a little parking space or road. Hello, Shonga. How you doing? I'm probably gonna need to think about how I'm gonna do this later as well. Let me also do this. Hello, hello, hello. I don't hear myself that loud. Well, it's weird. I think I changed some settings maybe. You have off. Oh, nice. Yeah, I'm always off at Wednesdays as well. That's why I stream on Wednesdays, I guess. So I know that feeling, and it's a really good feeling. Yeah, first things first, filling this in. I think we might want to do a little this. Now that I'm thinking, I never did full block. Oh, I need. Am I gonna do half slabs here? Oh, did I need to do half slabs in here as well? Oh, and then we have doors, and oh no. So no, I think just flat. Oh, I need to think about this. Why I need to think about this is over in the main area we did the roads at full block level and then the footpaths at half slab level. So yeah, I can't really do that here. Can I now? Well, I guess I could lower the... No. Can I? I guess I can make it sloping from the Okay, so... I'm thinking right now. I'm just thinking here. So if we have full blocks here, right? Maybe like that. Like that's what it's standing on. And then we slope the footpath down to the road. If you get what I mean. I don't know if that's like a good plan, but we can at least try something. Okay. Yeah. I'm thinking at the same. I'm thinking level on ground, but at the same time, I'm thinking let's not do that because it might look a little weird. I was thinking a totally different way. In case you don't know, every footpath in real life, or where all footpaths in real life are never really level. That's gonna sound weird, yeah. No, they're always like a little bit slanted to get the rainwater off them, or well, most of them. I guess they should be. Maybe in some old actual towns, etc. They're not. So I'm thinking we could just use some full blocks here. So don't get me wrong, and a lot of layers to get a slope from the building downwards, which makes a lot of sense. It makes my life a little harder. True. So to get from full block to half slab, I'm gonna need 3 layers at most, or at least, I should say. So I'm just thinking, let me fill this in with full blocks so I don't have the edges of the... and in the corners, well, we'll have to do something else, of course. Maybe even 1 over here instead of 2. So if we now get layers, let me... should I do 2 layers is 1 step down, or... No, I won't make it like that. Maybe 1.5... No, there's corners, so let's not... Let's just stick with the... Let me just grab some things and let me try. I think that's most important, that we just try and see what works and what doesn't. So yeah, I'm as I was saying, I'm getting a BR80 soon. It's gonna be delivered, I don't know when, but it's gonna be very fun. It's one of my first model locomotives with sound, so I'm looking forward to it. If it sounds actually really good or if it sounds really shit, I don't know yet. We're gonna find out, I guess. Okay, so what I can do here is make it more round. I guess this is a little more rounded, just so it looks a little smoother. So that's 1, 2, and then we need a third, and then we're gonna go. Okay, yeah. So my question is this enough slant away from the building, or do I need it 1 closer? Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make it 1 closer, but with half layers. So like this, and then that last one is gonna be half layer. That's what I'm thinking right now. So we do have that, and then we have this. So that way our rain, that's too steep. It's too steep. I'm thinking, okay? So that seems fine. I need this 1 higher. I was like, why am I... Okay. Alright, the corner is gonna be a mess, but... I'm gonna need thousands of layers. I want to cry already. I don't know. Okay, the corner could be like this here. Yes, sure. And this will now go down into the last one. And then after it, there will be the slab and then the curb. I mean, yes, sure. So, the funny thing is, things like this is actually what I do for my work. Think about things like this and how to solve like heights that rainwater will flow down in the right direction and not where I don't want it. It's actually what I think I actually had to do that yesterday with somebody. Check with them or I'm not really help them, but check together if it was right or something. I guess you should, yeah. I guess that's really the thing. So yeah, here you have an insight in what I think about every day. Slopes and footpaths. I think this is good. I mean, I do kind of like that. Do I like that? Or is that really weird? It feels weird in Minecraft or something. It feels weird, but at the same time it works. Let me just, maybe I do have a schematic and quill. Otherwise I can always find a quill, so. Why the schematic and quill, you might wonder. Well, then I can just copy this section and have it multiple times instead of only once, so. And like, I don't want to build this all by hand. That's going to be a little too much work. If you get what I mean. If I want to fill up an episode with me just working on this one bit, I should probably do that, yeah. I know, like, I remember one of the first things when the half layers came out, or maybe they were there already, is building the gold mine thing. This one, that. And the roof of that is just all layers, so very nice, but also a lot of work. So yeah. I actually did that roof like half with schematic cannons as well, I think, so. So this would work. Then I could have the curve here. Well, it would have to curve that way, of course, so. Let me work on this part as well, instead of just working on one part. A Russian subscriber, could you please tell me if your FPS drops due to a large number of filled blocks? Wait, why does my auto mod block that? Sorry. FPS drops a little bit with copycats, I guess. It's not that bad though. It's mostly bad when it comes down to shaders. So if I have my shaders on, it's basically gonna see every little edge. So every little small edge also has like a shadow edge. So it needs to check every edge to make shadows everywhere. So yeah, the more angles, the more little things you add, the more lag you get. But I think overall Copycats Plus is fine. On trains, it is very laggy, but it's mostly when loading in trains. So yeah, that's I guess the basics. No, that's for the corner one. Okay, I guess I'm gonna go. So this section is basically the same as the other ones. Let me just see where we no end up if we do this. Okay, we end up here. So I think you were talking about actually Copycats Plus, but I think it's fine. I think the lag isn't that bad. Also depends if you're on like a a good PC or less a good PC maybe. But overall you should be safe, I feel. Yeah, these layers are being eaten very fast. I need to generate thousands, if not millions of them. Streams and videos constantly motivate me to build and develop my city, thank you. A year ago I built a huge a Gothic train station, but unfortunately it was murdering the frame rate. Yeah, that does happen. If you want to like show it to your friends or make videos about it though, use replay mod, because replay mod renders out shots. And the nice thing about it, it actually when your world gets really heavy, it just loads in slower and it renders slower. But it will still be... well, how do you say that? What am I doing here? Wait, sorry. But it will still render at like 60 frames per second. So that's at least nice. Okay, I guess this is good. Yeah, sure. It's kind of smooth. I now need to just make... or think about what I'm gonna do here. It's already better. And these are gonna be slabs, of course. I don't wanna make it all too heavy. But yeah, they do take up some frame rates, sure. But at the same time, they are really cool and really nice. So I'd say just use them. Just frame rates, we don't need that. Really epic builds, we need that. Yes. Motivates me to keep on building. One thing, set a big goal for yourself. Like, I want to build a big world with realistic buildings or actual things and trains. Second, just do whatever you want and not what somebody else wants. Do multiple things at the same time. So not like one thing that you're just working on, just have other things you can do as well. And I guess being on a server really helps, or at least sharing your builds really helps. So yeah, that's I think that's like mostly the reason how I can go on for that long, I guess. I like this part. This is good. I think, yeah, I think it's good. Let me just see if we can... Do I have... No. Are there any chickens in the area? Probably not. On which biome there are chickens? Chicken which biome? Biome which chicken? Cows. Oh, of course, we're not gonna find any chickens, are we? Just gonna make that into one section and then... Sure. Ah, nice. Very cool, very cool. I love that. Okay, so am I really gonna go back to base to get a feather? I mean, there should be some chickens somewhere, right? Oh yeah, I see some. I see them. Hello? Hello? Oh, he's stuck. That poor dude. And now he's dead. Wait, do I need... Oh no, it's like this. Okay, For a second I was like, maybe I need ink as well. But no. No, I don't. No, I don't. No, I don't. Okay, so we have a little schematic in Quill. And what I can do with that is cheat my way through a little bit. And actually say I want to copy from you till you. Oh god. No. Oh no. Like that. Okay, so now we can get in here, and now we can do a yoink. I can do another one already. A. Footpath. I saw, yeah, footpath part. I'm gonna have to fill that up with quite some stuff. I might need some more stone soon. I'm running out of stone here. Well, running out is a big word, I guess, but... let me craft some copycats as well. Because those are gonna go very fast, I think. Layers, where there. Why not use that mod? I have another mod which is called a Bobby, and a Bobby works fine for me. It makes me be able to load 50 chunks or more. Distant Horizons is really heavy, so I don't see really a need in that, I guess. I don't really need it, is I guess what I mean. And I think copycats don't render in Horizons anyway, so you would just see like weird buildings really far away. Yes, I was. Yeah, I had the record button. Let me just fly over here, get in a new section. What do you mean, schematic not positioned? I just positioned it. Schematic is certainly positioned, thanks. Oh, that's the wrong block. That. We get another one already. A footpath part. I cannot set them up the same at like the same time, so I need to fly back, get it in, and then get the other one in. But if we did one side, then I think we can do the other one real fast. Alright, so get this in here again. And then the last little bit is this one, of course. Or well, I could do one more, but for now I think this is good enough. No, it's not so I don't name the cell or the same thing as other members, because that doesn't matter. It's your own file thing anyway. It's just so I have all files that are listed as AAA, I can just throw away. I never need them anymore. And also so they stay roughly at the top. So that's why I do that. But it's mainly so that I can, in my file viewer thing, I can just throw them away at the same time. It's mainly the reason, I guess. Just makes my life a little easier. So normally, so if I now slope this footpath down to get the rainwater out, I should also slope my roads. No, I'm actually not going to do that. I mean, it would make a lot of sense, but at the same time, let's not. It would be a little too much work, I think. Okay, so we have this sloping down, which is pretty nice. We cannot really add anything on here. That's the only hard part. I guess we can make lanterns later on. Well, we can give them a little bit of a footing, I guess. So maybe it does work. I do sort of like how this goes up. It gives more depth to the building, I guess. It's almost like stairs, or... Well, not really, but yeah. You know what I mean. It sort of works the same. All those water buckets were filled, I don't know why. I need 3 for one roadside. My system was 4, so this is the middle block, and then I need one of those smooth quartz blocks in there, right? And then I'm gonna do 4 full blocks to the other side. Yeah. All right. Oh, I don't have water with me. Okay, that's not good. I didn't think about that. So I don't have water here. I will grab that in a bit though. Let me first just finish this, I guess, or at least get most of this in. What I want to do is convert some of these to, well, be that, and then I can lay down some roads. Let me just fill this all in for now. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. How was your meeting? Nope, wrong block. Nice, nice, nice. Had like a meeting, or like a school meeting, or? You had a meeting to get a job. And during that you were watching my stream. I don't think that's a good plan. But a good luck indeed, surely. Alright. Oh, so you had like an online meeting or something. I see. Ah, yeah, okay, well, that makes a lot more sense, I guess. Is this the right width? This is 1, 2, 3, half, 1, 4. Yeah, okay, this is the maximum road width for this part at least. Kinda need to think about what we're gonna do here, but I mean, could do that for once. Nope, sorry. Okay, wait. One of this is going to be a parking space, right? Is what I just said. Now I need to think again. I was playing Minecraft till 1 AM. I think I did. I was working on some things till 1:30. So, yeah. I know the feeling, I guess. So it's actually going to be here, the road. This is going to be more the road. Or are we going to go like that and then into... No. We want buses and stuff to be able to stop as well. So, yeah, let's just do it like this. Let me bring back some dirt. So are you then... because it almost sounds like sort of affections server. Like, I remember really back in the day you had affections servers. Affections was just a plugin, I think. But everybody called them affections servers because of that. Which was really epic because, yeah, it was basically about build a base and hide it. Otherwise you're gonna die the next morning. Yes. At the same time, do not spend hours and hours and hours on your builds because they're gonna be gone. Almost like 2B2T it's called, right? That one anarchy server thing. I must say, I sometimes watch YouTube videos of 2B2T. The longest anarchy Minecraft server, or however it's called. I don't know anymore. Hello, Div Boy, how you call? Sorry, good morning. How are you doing today? Very, yeah, nice. Very much awake here. I'd say so. I can't... sure. Oh no. No. Oh no. Well. So first we have this, where we're gonna park... What is this fact, man? Honestly. Nice. Okay, so we're actually gonna go full length. Ah, I see. Well, welcome. How are you doing today? I really need to get more into YouTube again and do some things for over there. I guess the live stream recaps, of course. I need to sort of get a pattern in where I can keep working on them or something. I might start streaming soon, or I might start streaming less soon, a bit. To just work on some videos and things as well. Because, yeah, loads of ideas. Zero actual time to fix them. Or to make them. Okay. So I'm just gonna do, well, that, but... Well, less streams doesn't mean like no streams at all, but for example, like 1 day less, I guess, or something. For at least a while. So instead of me going live on Saturdays and Sundays, maybe only a Sunday or only a Saturday or something. But we shall see, because maybe I don't, maybe I'm fine with this, and yeah. Alright, so that's gonna be our parking lane spot thing, which I think is fine. Yeah, we are not on that level yet, but that's good. No, that's actually not good. I'm gonna change this. Yeah, thank you. I actually saw that. Thank you so much, of course. So 4 and then, yeah, okay, I can stick close to that. So what I'm gonna do here is the footpath is gonna be shifted 1 over, or half over, I'd say. This line is going to be shifted half over, so over in the front of the station, we actually line up with the curb that's going to be there. Also, if you see me moving weirdly with actually my neck, I don't know what's up with my neck, but it, well, it feels weird, hurts, whatever you might call that. Maybe I've moved in a wrong way or something. So it kind of feels weird right now. Oh, man. It is what it is. Yeah, the starting a base factory thing was actually asked by some folks. So if you see anything in the server that you want, just ask me. And I might be able to post it. Like the really big builds, I will not post, or maybe later, because they're sort of the icons of this world, and I don't want them like everywhere. But yeah, for the smaller builds, of course, yeah, fine. I mean, this station is already on there as well, so. Yeah, and that factory is indeed like a really good solution for sort of a storage warehouse slash small factory building, I guess. I don't know if I included the chimney with it or not. Yeah, so that will be the curb. Wait, let me think about this. This will be the curb for this part, right? Curb, and that will align with that. So in order for that to properly align, I want to rip this up. And then I want to get some bytes. So this will make this lane 4 wide, which makes sense because all of the lanes are 4 wide. I know you cannot drive in the middle with a car, but that's what it is. And that's on the roads as well. I do want sort of my middle lines to be half thick and not full thick. So maybe one day they will make a copycat center block layer, if that makes any sense at all. Not really a lot, but sure. Maybe one day they will make something like it. It would be really useful, to be honest. So I did 4, 3, 2, 2, 2. Here we're gonna do 3. We're gonna go up to there. Yeah, so that makes a lot of sense, right? To have it like that. And then have the road in here. A slice variant of the center beams. Yeah, that would also be a very good one indeed. That's something that I'm missing as well. So what else was I missing? I had this. I still want a slice corner and not. The thing is, I actually asked for like a slice, a corner before, and then it actually came out a slice corner. But I meant a slice inner corner, not a slice outer corner. Yeah, I think they have a certain limit. I've spoken to Benny before, I think, on this, or he joined in the live streams. Or they, or, well, I don't know. And I think the limit is really sort of how many fractions are you going to do small. Like right now it's the maximum amount of things is 60 with like the half layers. So it's the maximum amount of things you can have in a copycat as well then, which is still fine for them. But if you get even smaller, then it gets a little much. I don't know if it's also due to restrictions of the game or just choices. But a slice, inner slice corners would be like really nice. Yeah, and overall, maybe, for example, center slices or something. Center corner slices, whatever. Something like that. It could be really useful. Okay, see you in a bit. So yeah, we're gonna go up till here. With a sort of a parking spot. A bus lane, I guess it is. I might change the asphalt over there later. But yeah, we'll see in the future. Okay, so that's one road part in. So now here we're gonna have the 3 middles. And then we're gonna have, well, I need 4, so I need 1 more block. Because we're gonna have 3 line and then 4. Yeah. Okay, is this gonna be the line? Yeah, that's gonna be the line. Let me try and get something in already. Might not line up exactly with roundabout that I wanted to do, but yeah, I think it's also gonna be a very long while before we actually get any roads like fully done, or like the whole road network. So bear with me, I guess. How did I do it? Did I do one? I think I did this, right? Yeah, I think every tree, yeah. Okay. We convert some again. And now we can continue this road. I don't know how we're gonna fill this in, but sure. I should have not like broken up the entire thing here maybe, but just keep the road like that for now. Alright, we're gonna need to also dig this dirt up here. So it's actually really nice that earlier on we decided to make that a dirt layer 3 thick instead of 1 or 2. Because otherwise we would have been fucked by now. Constantly falling in the water. Well, underneath here there were blocks already, I guess, but this was water, I think. This little area. So it's good that we did that. Do we want a roundabout? Because then we're gonna curve. If I want like a roundabout, okay. So let's. Let me expand this road a little bit, I guess. Let me get this forward a bit. Let me also sit a little more straight like this. Maybe that's a little bit nicer for my neck. I don't know what it is really, but maybe sitting weird at my desk yesterday or something. Like over at work or here at home. I don't know. Just happens sometimes, I guess. I'm actually getting old. Yes. And also it's because my monitors are like a little high as well over here. I guess I can move my chair a bit lower, but then my feet are close to the ground, I guess. Oh well, oh well. Choices. Alright, so let me just leave it with this for now. Actually, I will fill in the gaps with some copycat slabs as well. Is it getting night? I guess it is getting night, but too slow for me, so first fill in these. With some blocks. With some blocks. A fountain on like a roundabout, right? I don't think it's that hard. I think it's pretty much doable. Just need to check how the leading roads are gonna go into it, and if we leave enough like size for the how should I call it? The actual buildings that I want to make, because I don't want to make everything like really small. I want to get it quite well, not gigantic, but quite big, so it's at least workable. Oh, sorry. As I said, I was going to bed yesterday like quite late. which is fine because, of course, my Wednesdays are always free. So, but well, we have this part for now. So a roundabout in here could be nice. How big would that have to be though? Because we would have one lane, right? So let's say we go check that out. No. So here is where our curb starts. So if we can get our roundabout to go from like 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. Let's say our circle is like that big plus. Do we need a 2-lane or 1 lane? That's too close to the building. I feel like we need it like here. So lanes are gonna be that wide, right? I mean, yeah, sure. Footpaths around it as well. Okay, no, it's a bit too far away from the station right now. So, yeah, it's gonna be quite hard to decide on what I want to do here. Let me see. We're for footpaths until like there somewhere, right? And here we'll have our roundabout, which will be quite a big one, but it will have 1, 2, 3, 4. I also want tram tracks on it, so should I then do... Should the tram tracks be on the roundabout as well, or... I could also do something that the roads sort of converge from there, so that it goes down this way. So like that, into a point and then over the bridge. Yeah, let me just... I think this is still quite small. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. Because I'm used to that over here, I guess. Let's do that 9 blocks. Let's do this 1 less. Plus 2. I guess that could be okay. So this is like the center block, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So then we could get the road like curved into there. See, I really need a 45-degree angle to get into the... I guess, well, it could also be like this. And then also like curve off there. Something. We'll see about that later. I think that's quite decent. I mainly need to think about the tram roads that are going to be here as well if I want trams, so... it's gonna be the tram track. That's gonna be the tram track. And, well, they can curve out a little bit in an S like that. That's fine. And then I want some leeway, and then I want road. I guess my roads could be like this. Like nicely, neatly aligned on the edge there. So the inner circle will be the roads, and the outer will be the tram track. Could be it. So let's first look at the inner road. So that's going to be 3. No. 5, 3, 2. 5, 3, 2, 1, 1. 2, 3, 5. 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5. 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 3, 2. There we go. So that will be the inner circle for the road vehicles. Is that too tight? I feel like that's a little small, isn't it? Yeah, we need it bigger. Mainly the circle, the middle circle needs to be wider. I mean, yeah, it will take away more of the buildings, but the buildings will just end like flat on there and then go like that and then in a little corner and then, yeah. So I can still expand that way a little bit. As long as I keep one free, I think it's fine. Let's say 4 more blocks at least. Probably 2 more even. Oh my god. Bots be spamming again. So how many do I have right now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Is that too big? I also need like the trailing edges, I guess. So yeah, let's do 10 then. So let's go back 1. Remove 2 blocks. Okay, let's see 10. 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 white. Plus a 2, 2, maybe? 2, 2, 1. Yeah, I think that works. I mean, the lower Shepperton roundabout is way smaller, but yeah, that's the lower Shepperton roundabout and not this one, I guess. I could have a fountain in the middle, a walkway around it, a little road crossing there, road crossing that way, or something. Yeah, I think this is okay. Let me first go 4 blocks out. So then we're gonna go 5, 3, 2, 2, 1. No. Two, 3, 7, 3, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 7, 3, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2. Okay, so that's one circle, and then we can get another circle on that. Is it still too close to the station? Is that my problem here? Oh, I don't think so. I think that's fine. Okay. I'll have to see. Seven, 3, 2, 2. No, they get smaller there, so we want three, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3. What? Oh. Oh, 5, I see where I messed up. Luckily enough, I messed up here and not somewhere else. Alright, so something like that. Could I make the trams also take that inner path? Depends how big the trams are, I guess, but I guess I could. Because then what I just have to do is okay. So since I'm sort of driving on the right and I always go that way, I don't have to make sure we can go that way. So this can be straight. And now we're gonna go to the biggest challenge, which is how do we connect up this? No, that's gonna be too much. So it's gonna be flexing a bit that way, and from here it's gonna go that way. So we're gonna go 3, 2. Yep, like that. And the other one is gonna go. Let me actually check that this is enough. So. Okay, we need to push it out a bit more and then straighten it earlier or later. So we're gonna go from this point. Nope, here we want to keep it flat. Let's go 4. 3, 3. 3, 3. Tweet, 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 tweet. Tweet, 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 tweet. Yeah, and then we have a nice little corner. So this will be buildings, and this will. Actually, it's not that much smaller. This thing. So I want to change that up so I have a little more space. I mean, if it gets wider after the bridge again, I'm fine with that. But on the bridge itself, it should be quite narrow. Like, we don't want a gigantic bridge. 3 in between of those is fine. And then this will be 3, 4. So, like that. So building, building. All designed by hand in survival mode. So for once I can say I'm not doing everything the easy way. Which is also fun sometimes, but I guess like clearing out everything again and again and again every time is annoying. I mean, it works right now because it's not that much, but if you are designing bigger buildings, then sure, it would be quite some work. Okay, so we have that all in place. Would this work? Well, maybe we have to curve this more into there as well. So make it a little bit smoother. So it really stays on the 2 and then goes into 1. What? Yeah. Now crossings will go that way because basically everybody that's on foot will get out of here. Then we'll want to get out of here onto this and then go that way to go onto the footpaths on the side of it. So let's decide on how big that should be. So if this is the road, and here's a little, this is a track. There will be a curb here or something. I'll make sure of that. That's fine. So with the curb, so let's say 3 blocks. More than enough, right? I think so. Let me just see what we can do with the tracks. I don't know why I'm adding like a tram in every city by now, but why not, I guess. I guess it could be. Ooh. It's kind of nasty, but we'll work with it. I don't know if that's the right spacing, but Maybe I have to put it more in my one. No, I don't. Let's just see. Okay, so again, maybe the car should be on the inside and this should be on the outside, but yeah. But if. Oh, this is the, no. We're destroying that. Like, instantly. Sorry, but no. We actually need it like this then, on the inside curve, but that's fine. I think that way we leave some space for the car as well. Hey, Space Boy, how you doing? No, that was a very misshapen, so... Let's never do that again. Thanks. Okay, so, well... Curve gets a little... No, it doesn't get sharper. It's the same... It's very tight, honestly. It's very tight. Well, at least this curve won't have... Like, now it will look more like a circle again. At least a bit more. I'm almost debating if I should put it on the outside again. And then force the roads to the middle. That way our tram can hold there safely without interfering with any roads. Yeah, that might be better, to be honest. So the roads will cross the tram line. Or I guess the tram line crosses the road. Depends how you want to see it, I suppose. Let's stay towards the outside, at least then. Let's stay towards the outside, so in this one I always go... Actually, or do we just stay in the middle? No, the car also has to twist, so... Let's stay safe, let's stay safe. This is safer for future developments, I guess. Yes. Is it in there? Oh wait, I'm at the wrong block. Just give me a reason. Here is the same issue. Yeah, we actually need to be like there. Okay, that gives more room for the tracks as well, or for the cars, but not too much. So I actually like this spot better. We're gonna go there. It was kind of weird because a car needing more space than a sort of train. Yeah. Didn't really make any sense. So we're gonna have the trams on the outside. I like that. The cars are gonna cross inwards. So yeah. we're gonna have to revamp all of this again. So I actually want the 3 on this, maybe. 2 on here, which means 2 blocks back. Alright, then you can still turn away from that. That's good. For the other road, let me check. Sorry for yawning there. No, man. Want to be able to get straight out of there, since this is our diagonal. I think a car passes through that and through that. Actually, that's bigger than our main road, so I think it's gonna go there. Right, is this... Oh, I see. That's right. Car passes on that, car passes on that, yeah. Feels like the same width. Or, well, roughly the same width. But I need to curve that out into there. So that's gonna be 3, 2. Maybe 4. 3, 2. This is the outer line then. 2. 3. It's probably going to be longer eventually, so let me just for now already do that. So it's 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, okay. So we're going to go like that. Then we are on a diagonal, which we need to get away. 2, 3, 4. And then the rest. That way we're sort of crossing the tracks the most head-on, so. Cycle path being built great will pedestrians and cyclists have more space than cars. Actually going from 50 to 30 makes sense almost everywhere, especially near areas where there are loads of folks like walking around and where there are loads on cycle. I actually worked on one of these things as well. It's basically sort of road safety. The sort of roads within cities don't have to be fast because you don't want them to be fast. Otherwise, everybody will go through your city instead of around it on the ring road where they should be. Because the ring road might be full, etc. So what often happens is we sort of make areas within cities more friendly for walking by, well, for example, making it a 30 road and giving a car less space. One thing that I often do, and well, we often do over here is if you have a really okay, wait, let's see it. If you have a really wide road, right? if it's a really wide road. And the speed limit is 30. It isn't designed for speed limit 30 because you have a really wide road. So what can you do and what do you feel like doing? Going faster because you have lots of space on the left and on the right. So if you veer off a little bit, it's all fine. However, when you make that road really smaller to like a certain limit, and there are rules for that, and like you have, for example, the width for a road with like I think one-way street with two-way a bicycle is, for example, 385 or something. I don't know what the exact thing is, but there are books for that, and we have those. So yeah, with not really design rules, but more sort of guidelines. If you make a really wide road and it's 30, you're gonna go faster because you think it's safer. You can spot like somebody going from behind the car more easily and faster, etc. So you're gonna drive faster and harder. We don't want that, especially not in a neighborhood or whatever, because it also gives off noise and things like that. So what we do is we actually make the road narrower. So you sort of, since the road feels narrower, it also feels less easy to receive dangers and things like that. So you automatically slow down. So you always want your road to be designed according to the speed limit. You cannot just say, okay, here's a road for 100 and we're now going to have like a board on it and say it's 30. People are still going to drive like 60, 70, 80. So that's sort of like how that works, I guess. I guess, of course, well, if you have like a board down, loads of folks are going to drive 30 because they think they might get a fine, but that's not really what you want to design it for. At the same time, another thing, when you make a road smaller, you have leftover space, which you can like have basically you can design your area nicer. By making a road smaller, you have less asphalt and you have more space for greenery, for benches, things like that. So it's more sort of two things to the same thing. So it's basically slowing people down by making the road narrower. Of course, still a certain point, because at like a certain point it isn't safe anymore, or like an average actual car cannot go through anymore. So you don't want to make it too small. And that gives you space to do other things as well for the people. So yeah, that's sort of how that works. So a cycle path and then have more space than cars. Yeah, well, that makes sense actually. I guess if cyclists and pedestrians have more space than cars, that also feels a little bit off. Like I don't think you need like, well, maybe with like an open space where everybody can meet, but if it's just like an actual walkway, so not like an area like, well, yeah, where you can meet or like see each other or do anything. I think your footpath should be like max 2 meters, because if you have more than that, I think you are unnecessarily making things like, how do you say that? Basically, your footpath will be unnecessarily wide. You could also use like a bit of that space for greenery and other things, which therefore adds to climate sustainability and therefore also gives shadow, so it becomes less hot on the roads, etc. So all kinds of things. There's a major route between a really big town and a city. Yeah, but a bus that mounts the curb to let an ambulance go by, that makes sense. That happens over here in the Netherlands a lot. It's just sort of like a situation, like, you sort of design your curbs to be a certain height. So normally somebody would not want to drive over them. But when like or like somebody needs to go like by really fast for safety reasons or whatever, like a police car or things like that, buses and things can still drive on a curb. it isn't like normal, but at the same time, you cannot say, okay, I'm designing a street where I always have one lane free for an ambulance, I always have one lane free for a bus, I always have one lane free for a faster car, and one lane free for a slower car. And that in both ways. Because then you have just an 8-lane highway, which is not used at all. Like, you sort of have to see space is limited. You don't have, like, space, like, everywhere. So you sometimes need to think about how are we going to use that space. And at the same time, it might be a really a busy road right now, but maybe your city government or whatever doesn't want that to be a busy road anymore. Maybe there's like a highway which is a little bit more of like a way around, so not like the fastest straight way through. Like, what often happens is when people sort of find a straight way through somewhere, they go there because it's easiest. Maybe it's not meant for that. And what I mean by that, if like loads of actual cars go through that way, well, it's just actually a road to link up, for example, a neighborhood to a city center, but also the cars from 4 cities over go over it as well to go to 4 cities the other way. You don't want that. You don't need to design for that because they can go around your city. You don't want them through it. So it might be a choice. I feel like it's a sort of a double of a choice of sort of downgrading the road, getting less vehicles on it, and also a choice of making more space for people to walk and cyclists. Yeah, so exactly. Narrowing the road mostly has to do with the speed that it is at, because you said it was from 50 to 30. So the only reason why the street got narrower is because the speed limit is lower, because you have to design according to speed limit. Another, like for example, if they removed lanes, then it's just mostly about like making. What you'd sort of do is if you have like a lot of lanes and like. So wait. Let's start all over. So you have, for example, a small road where a few vehicles go. If you make that into a 4-line or a 4-lane faster way, it will attract lots of actual traffic because people think it's faster. It might not be faster, but it looks faster and it looks more open and there are less cars, so it looks less busy. So it's faster. So how can you... So the only way sort of you can get less traffic on the street is by decreasing the max it can have. Then it will be really busy at first. There will be like queue lines. How do you call that for cars again? Jams. There will be actual jams at first. But then people start realizing, okay, there is always a road jam on this road. So it's slower than a ring road, for example. So let me just go on the ring road. And then the amount of cars will go down again. And then there will be no more actual jams. And there will just be less cars on that road. So that's sort of... It's not done within a day, of course. You will have jams at first. But in like a year or so, it will be probably the exact effect that your city wants. Or the city that you live near. Nobody uses the cycle path. That might have to do with cycling networks. So another thing is sometimes you do have to build your roads in phases. You cannot build like everything at once in the world. So this might be a small linkage to a bigger network. And if the other things of the network aren't in yet, you don't see anybody on a bike. And as soon as the other linkages are there, you see more on the bike. At the same time, it might also be a reason. So what we, for example, over here do, or what we have over here, is we are sort of trying to get more people on a bike than on a car. what we used to see was, for example, if you would be a parent with a child and you would get your child to school, what often happened is they would, even if they live like by bike 5 minutes around like the corner, they would still go by car. Because people overall, well, there are some not, but mostly are really lazy. If they have a car, why not take it, right? So you sort of want to force them to take a bike. So you show them a bicycle path, a really fast one, to make it faster and more easy for them. And you make it harder to go by car because you're slowing down the roads and you're getting smaller roads, etc. To eventually get more people on a bike than in a car. That's sort of all of those things combined is what might be reasons. Yes. Anyway, roads, cars, yes. See, I'm designing, by the way, a city where it's still focused on cars because it's a different time. If I would be designing a city of nowadays, there would be way more bike paths and things like that. And I'm not like well, how do you say that? Like we have specific traffic space designers for us. I'm like a designer of like the overall areas. But I also have like a little bit of like street designing, and I of course need to do that. Like I always check it with them, but most of the times it's like, yeah, it's good. And I'm one of those folks where I don't have a car. I don't need it because I can go with a bus really fast to the city center, and from there by a train to like a bigger city. So I can go everywhere on my bike. I can go to my work by bike. If we ever get a kit that would be different, then a car is really useful. Of course, well, right now it's also useful sometimes, but not enough. Not like enough times for me to say I need one. So I'm still one of those folks that is like ripping a roads wherever he can. So, which is good, but often people don't realize that's good for them. And well, wait, stop there. That sounds really weird because it's not like telling somebody what's good for them. That's not what I meant, but it's more when something is easy and you're used to it, change is often hard. Well, change might be better for your life eventually. We think about that, and we think about which way do we want to get people to live here. Of course, you might not agree with that, and that's fine, and you can always say so, and we always have to keep everybody's like opinion in mind, of course. And if lots of folks don't want it, we still have to design a car or a big road for cars if everybody wants it. But overall, you slowly see that here in the Netherlands, more folks are like about lowering speed limits and making more green and more like livable space than actual traffic space, I'd say. And disabled bus pass due to Yeah, well, actually, that's like actually really good because we also have that over here in the Netherlands. But for example, outside of that, we also have regulations that can, for example, if you cannot bicycle on like a normal bike, but for example on a bike with 3 wheels, but you cannot go up a hill and things like that. I think the government can give you money to buy one of those more expensive bikes to help you try to get around. If of course if you can't cycle at all, then you're still getting a bus or like things like that, or a taxi or things. But if you can, but not on like a normal bike, they supply you with a special bike, and for those special bikes they also say you don't have to put them into an allocated like a slot somewhere, because often if they want to go to a store, for example, you might not be able to walk very well, then you don't want to park your bike very or like a long ways away from the store, but you actually want to park it in front of the door. Normally you cannot park your bike everywhere because it would be a mess. But for those special actual cases, we say, okay, you can stand in front of the door, you can have it everywhere. That's fine. If that helps you to get around, that's fine. But like other folks that can walk that far, just have them in like a bike space. So yeah, and they do all sorts of things like that. Like lots of folks over here whine about how healthcare is so expensive, and every month it's like $150, and at the same time you're getting so much for it that if anything happens to you, you will be cared for, like everywhere. So yeah, if nothing happens to you in your life and you are always like, I can fix everything on my own, yeah, okay, well, you might have actually paid for that, true, but at the same time, if you go into hospital, it's free, or well, almost free. If you have like a thing that you need a special bike, you will get it. If you need like an elevator on your stair railing, you can get it. Yes, so I think people over here in the Netherlands should complain a little less, yeah, because yeah, essentially you're getting a lot of things for free and a lot of help from everywhere. But that's just my rant about life. Yes. I need to get this road in. I need to go build instead of just walk around. So let's get the road in. I want a car over here so I can actually check how wide the roads need to be. Would be nice, but actually, well, we can plan our area out first, like a bit more. I think that would be cool. Dun 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 dun. I'm gonna just build the road over the bridge. I feel like that would be a good choice, actually. Okay. So I know my road is gonna be here, right? I think this is the setup, sort of the base of this is good. We have a little bit of a weird space in there, but this could be like a little bit of greenery maybe. This space, and then we can make a footpath go there. So that's how I want to do that. So here we can just build road. Which I am gonna do. So it's 4 wide. Can we go to 5 wide? Like half a block less there and half a block more here. I think so. Because it makes having the curbs a lot easier. It will just be steps instead of bites everywhere. Which will basically mean less lag as well, I feel like. So it's good to do that. So it looks really wide right now. Also makes the cars be able to drive in the center more throughout the city, which is better. Because a car not driving in the center of a road is... It looks a bit strange when you look at it for longer. I think when you look at it fast, you don't really notice it. But and of course, in real life, also everybody doesn't drive exactly in the center of the road as well. Often, folks drive more towards the side their steering wheel is on. Which, when you think about it again, makes a lot of sense. Because on that side, you can actually see straight down out of your window. And on the other side, you have sort of less of an... You still have, of course, an idea of like how wide your car is. But you don't know if you're going to hit anything over there. Or you need more safety space, sort of. like this. Yeah, I am recording. Okay, that's good. So that will be one of the roads. Yeah, I think our bridge will be high enough. I can make that 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks. Yeah, can make arches of 4 blocks high. I think that's good. Or maybe a little girder bridge actually, and then the road can be half within the girder, or at least in the bottom row of the girder, I should say. Anyway, that was my little rant about cars, or well, vehicles, and how you work with that. Which is essentially, I wouldn't say my daily work. No, that's not true, because I also design green areas and parks, and also playgrounds / parks / both, which is a lot of fun to do. Even though sometimes it's a little hard, and sometimes you get people that like ask you things, and you're like, well, we can't really do that, so you have to say no, and then they don't like that. Yeah, I'm sorry. Like, yeah, I feel like working as a designer is mostly people. It's like 90% people like your things, but they don't say it, because they think it's normal that you're doing a good job, right? Which makes sense, of course, if I'm honest. And then it's like 10% of... sorry, wait, I said it wrong. 80% of folks thinking you're just doing your job, so it's good, and they don't... And it's fine, and you don't hear anything from them. 10% saying, wow, thank you so much, it's very good, I love it. And 10% of folks saying, this is really bad, I don't like it, it's not what I wanted, and yeah, etc. So it's kind of both ways. I feel like you often hear more of like the bad comments than the actual good comments, of course. But again, it makes sense. If people are happy with something that you make for them, or that you're going to make, and you showed it like what it's gonna be, if they are happy, you will not hear from them, and that makes sense, because everybody is busy in life, and also, well, they just think like, okay, you're doing your job in a good way. A vocal minority issue, what do you mean by that exactly? No, it's more, I think it's, again, it makes sense. Sort of when I, it's like the same thing when I go to a shop, right? And somebody's helping me. If they do a really good job, well, of course, you say thank you. But if it's like somebody at like, where, a checkout, for example, right? And somebody is like checking out your things. At the end, you might say thank you, but you're not going to say like, oh, thank you for helping me in such a nice way, and thanks, and whatever. If something goes wrong, or like there's a money missing, or you get back the wrong amount, you're going to react to that. So it makes a lot of sense that you more often get less nice actual comments than good ones. Yeah, for example, if the minority doesn't like it, you will just hear the minority still, and you might think, oh, it's really bad. Well, it actually isn't, because most of the people just didn't say anything. And you sort of have to think about that. You'll always have to think about that, and also you can of course ask, like, what I always try to ask like others is, do you like it, yes or no? To just everybody that I see. Like, if I have like an evening where I show something, I just go by like their actual tables or whatever, where they're talking about other things as well, and then ask like, you know, what would you like to change, or what would you like to see maybe in another way? Is there anything we could try to actually get there? And sometimes you hear things and others say, you know, yeah, it's fine, and sometimes you hear things that you cannot do, and then you have to say like, well, I can try to, but I'm probably not going to be able to because of money or whatever. Which eventually they most of the times they do understand. I think most folks over here are really nice. Sometimes you get somebody who just thinks like, oh, you're working for the government, so you're bad. Oh, you get so much money, but and you're bad and you don't do your job. Well, if they go into a session like that, I'm like, that's your opinion. I get it, and maybe you've been like not treated nicely by others. I understand. It's fine. I cannot really judge them for that or something, you know. The only thing I can do is show them that I'm trying my best, I guess. Oh, you sent it on Discord. Let me check. Let me see. I wanna... Oh yeah, that's just like a major bike path. Yeah. No, this makes a lot of sense. So, wait, your name on Discord is also Alterly, so I can share that, I think. I need to stop recording again because of this. What? What? Oh, I'm sharing Minecraft, sorry. Oh. So, if I'm understanding it right, this used to be the old road. I hope it's not like near your house. I don't want to actually dox you, but this is the old road and this is the new road. So what they did here is they needed space. Probably this is the only road space from like this fence till this area is like from the city hall or from the city. The spaces behind this is probably from some other owner over there and there. They wanted a bike path and they cannot have that on that land and that land. They wanted a bike path because of a biking network to focus more on getting people outdoors on like a bike path, right? On like a cycle. So they wanted a cycling thing. Cycling on like a street which is 50 miles an hour with like these really small narrow lanes is really dangerous. That's something we used to do back in the day. Not a good plan. It doesn't work if you want people to die, especially, well, there is some lighting, but there isn't like lots of houses around it, so there isn't like a lot of view on it. So what you get with these roads, if there is not a lot of houses around it and nobody views the road and it is as wide as this, people think they can drive faster than 50, and they will drive faster than 50. So if you're on your cycle just cycling and somebody, like for example, late at night, somebody drives like harder than 50 or even 50 over there. It's night. For example, here is like maybe a dark area because you also have some green area in here. So the light will be removed by it a little bit. You might not be seen as a cyclist and might get hit by a car. So this is kind of the way. I think the road is just as wide as it used to be. These like little things are bike paths. They are suggested bike paths, so the cars can drive over them, but they really shouldn't. So in theory, the road is, well, I cannot really see because, of course, the imagery is a bit different, but it looks to be almost... This is the old curb, I can see that. This is like the same old curb. It looks like it at least. This is a new one, and they just... that's the old footpaths. Whoa, they actually left in the old footpath and then just... Okay. Normally you would rip that up and get a new one in as well, but sure. Yeah, I think they just combined these biking lanes. These two. I've had them off the road and stuck them like next to each other on the side. Just to get like a cyclist a safer space. That's what happened here. The road isn't smaller. Well, again, it's physically smaller, so the curbs are closer together, so you feel like you have to drive slower. There's also a marking on the road saying slow. They took the speed limit down a bit, which makes sense. Oh, it feels really weird for me having that slow, by the way, like that on the right, and the car's driving the other way around. It looked really weird for me for a second. But yeah, this makes perfect sense. And I, honestly, for a 30 road, this road is really wide for a 30 road. And again, yeah, this cycle actual path, what an ambulance or something can do is just drive on there, or well, a car could drive on there and leave the ambulance through, or the ambulance could drive over it, but he has to be careful of a cyclist coming his way. So yeah, curb is so big it. Yeah, it's also 30 with speed cameras. Yeah, so then that actually explains a lot. I feel like this road is still too wide for a 30. It's basically the 50 road, but then the bicycle paths moved off to its own. Well, and a little bit of curb space, so maybe like this much smaller. Why is the curb so big? Do you mean like the height or the width? Because the width is basically because you don't want like your cyclist to be next to the road. Basically, they remove that from here. Like here the a person on the bike is like right direct next to the car. So if the car veers off a little bit, you're already gonna hit somebody on a bike. And with a bigger curb, your guy that cycles stays on the cycle path. Your car stays in here, so you have more margin in between. That's basically why. And why they chose for such a wide curb instead of just a curb and then a little bit of like a footpath or like a tile or something. I don't know. Choice. Over here we always do like the same actual curbs, but then a little bit of a tile of 30 by 30 centimeters and then a bicycle path next to that, for example. It's just really what sort of material is available. This also looks like a simple street, not like a really expensive major road, and it looks like a quick fix. So not like a whole revamping of the road, because otherwise you might also change out the left curb and do a new one, and you would remove the footpaths, etc. I think within the existing curb on this side and within the existing sort of line on that side, so the footpath, they just changed up sort of the road, how it's, yeah, in there. It does take a long time because probably traffic still had to go over it. So you have to do it in phases and in parts. Also, there used to be a split there. I don't see that split anymore, so... See where you actually see those lines going out of each other? Probably there it's to go to the right over there. The roads will go wider out of each other, so one car can stand in the middle of the road while others can still go by. That's something that you often see on 50 ways. On 30 ways, it's just you wait on your lane, and the cars behind you also have to wait for you to switch off to the right. So you don't really need that anymore. Maybe they added it, I cannot see it, but might be. So yeah, this makes sense. It's a cheap solution. It's a cheap solution to adding a bike path. Well, what is cheap? This still costs a lot of money, but not as much as redoing it all. So yeah, makes sense, I'd say. And it probably did take a few years, yeah, because you what you often do is you keep one lane open, then you build the next or the other lane next on the side of it, and you have like somebody standing at the front of that lane and at the back saying like, okay, you can come and you wait now. And then after that lane is done, the new lane, you reroute the traffic over that new lane, and then you get the old lane and redo that. junction you pointed out. Okay. It's still a big junction. Wait, so let me show you this as well. This is the old... Well, there's... This is new. So here you can already see what I mean by sort of making it more friendly to walk around. This was just one big area of asphalt, right? And in the middle there was like a little safety walking area because they once decided, oh, there are some folks walking here. We need a little bit more safety for them because it's a 50 road, so we need a middle island. They made this road less wide as well. They added these markings on the side, which also visually makes the road feel smaller, so you're gonna slow down. That's things that, when you see things like that, it's just there are rules to it as well, but it's also to visually make it feel smaller and less safe. There are these markings which basically say the bicycle has priority over you, I think. Is it a priority bike path? Yeah, I think so. There is... Are these triangles faced that way? Wait, what the fuck? What have they done here? I see these triangles pointing that way. But it's like yielding, so you have to... If you're driving by car, you yield on here. But the triangle should be facing like that shape. So when you come from there... Huh? These triangles are the wrong way around, it looks like. That's weird. Another thing I don't get is this sort of like... a pink path. I think that's for visually impaired. So it's like a different actual color, which you can see better. If you have like bad eyesight, you can still spot it and you can still see where you have to walk. The pointy bit of the triangle is facing the camera. Yeah, it is, right? So that's wrong. That should be the other way around. Like here, this one is the right way around. This one is the right... no, wait. Huh? Huh? Why is this here? Is that from the old road? What? Wait. Are triangles in England, are they always like that? Or when you're driving on the left? Are they always like you have to yield for this side of the triangle? Huh? Why are there triangles here? It's to show a speed bump. Where's the speed bump? Oh, it's like this is the bump. Oh. Yeah, over here, triangles basically mark who is going first. So if this is like a main road, if like the thing on the bottom is like the main road and you have to wait when you come from like here. So if you have to wait, if you come from here, there would be triangles here, like at the road, saying, well, you have to wait for others to go by there. But for you, it's like a marking of a speed bump. Okay, I see. So this is like your yield line, I guess. The markings like that. Yeah, I see. Well, then it makes sense, I guess. It feels very weird to have triangles be a mark for... That feels very... also, I don't have any water yet still, after 2 hours. I should get some because my throat is getting really dry. Another thing you can clearly see is like they made less asphalt. They added a crosswalk there. There already used to be a crosswalk there, and so this is the only thing where I would say it's kind of weird. I guess there was already one there, and there's like a footpath going through like the green space. I'd say try and combine these two into one. It doesn't really make sense to have them so soon after each other. It's also not really gonna work, so... Giveaway triangle. Yeah, that's like the giveaway triangle. Yeah, we have like really small ones and then more in a row. Another marking I don't get is... What is this line for? What is that like the marking of the end of the bump? where it goes from raised into flat again or something. Like the basically one, or like it's like half a meter line, half a meter empty. So that's what we call a 50-50 line, or well, a 0-50, 0-50. It's for the crossing. Yeah, no, it's not for the crossing because there's no footpath on this side. Like normally you would have those lines to sort of mark out what is the sort of walking space, what's the desired line that you should have. That's what we use those lines for, but there's no footpath here. So maybe it's an old line, maybe the footpath used to be here and they just didn't remove it. It's weird, this line. So that's one thing that's wrong. But what you can clearly see is these corners, because this is still a corner for 50. So then a bend is wider because you have to go through there faster, I guess. They made them smaller, the corners. So a car has to go slower through the corner, which is good because then you have more space to react to a bicycle or like somebody that's walking over the actual crosswalk. So that's to slow them down on this side as well, of course. And then they filled in those little areas with some green space. All the hedges are probably owned by the company behind that or whatever. Yeah, it's all designed to make you go slower. I feel like if I look at that car, this road is pretty wide. This is actually really wide. Like you could chop off like half a meter at least from both sides. Yeah, so this line isn't from before. I think it's the end of speed bump. Like you can see that in the curb here, where it sort of like is still a curb, and then it's sort of from here it's flat. You see, it's, well, maybe it goes up a little bit more, but it almost looks like that's the reason why. Because yeah, you also have these lines here. No, oh, it's weird. It's weird. That line here on the front is weird. But yeah, yeah, and in the middle of the road, that marking is probably gone. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense, this. And first you split off the bike path more, so they sort of have space to line up straight. Because otherwise, if you, well, and you also need, of course, the space for one car to fit in here. So this is like 5 meters, 6 meters, 4.5 to 6 meters. So a car can go by the bicycle path, wait in front of the yield line, and then go onto the road. So the edge of the cycle path. The edge of the crossing. What do you mean the edge of the crossing? There's nothing crossing here. Like this is already the edge of the bicycle path, and this is the edge. This marks the crossing. So wait, you have a separate line to mark the entire crossing as a whole. You guys are making things more complicated than need to be, honestly. I think this shows me a footpath crossing and this shows me a bike crossing, but in total you call this the crossing, and therefore, or oh, you mean maybe like the junction, like the road junction is where that ends. Huh? But why would you? Well, I guess if it makes sense to you guys, it works, and it's fine over there, of course. A distance from the zebra. Yeah, here. Yeah, that one. It's old for sure. I don't know why. I don't know why they do that over there. Maybe it makes sense. It probably does. Another thing I would do here. So you see how this is like the bike, or this is the bike path, this is the footpath, and the crossing section ends here. This asphalt or whatever it is, this footpath bit, you don't need to have that in stone or in anything, because nobody's gonna walk here. Nobody's gonna go, let me just go off up there and then walk back in to go here. That makes no sense. Having that sort of like this asphalt bit makes no sense behind there and behind there. So I would make that green or whatever. Yeah. And the curbs are lowered, so somebody with a wheelchair can also go over. So you lower the curb at like where somebody can walk over. So someone in the wheelchair can also go over. Which in the old situation was also done. It's just a little more crooked. And actually these things that you see are also for visually impaired people. They can feel, so if they're like actually blind or like really bad of eyesight, they can feel it with their stick. So there's always like these dots on it or things like that. So they can feel it. They're also often white and the surroundings are darker. So people with still decent eyesight can distinguish the color and see it because of that. Or well, decent, I'd say, like just enough, I should say. What often happens though is that you have like a marking and then you have a line in front of it. So basically the line decides for them the direction they should walk. If you don't have enough space to fit in a line, then you don't. But the marking is more sort of like a yield line, I guess, for them. And the line is sort of the direction that they have to go. Because otherwise, if they enter through this way and they feel the line, they might think, oh, I have to go that way. So they first feel the line and they feel like, okay, the sort of lines go that way. So this is the way I need to follow. Then these things are often wider. So they have a little bit of like space. So if they veer off to the right a little bit or to the left, they still feel this actual tile and they know, okay, I have arrived at the other side. So that's why they're often wider. And the wider the road, the wider this thing has to be, actually, the tile. Like, I think the standard is like 3 tiles wide, which is 90 centimeters. Maybe, like, that's what it is over here. In England and in other countries might be different. But the wider your road is, the more wide that thing is to be. Because if you veer off a little bit, the more length you have, the more you're off, like by half a meter on a small road and by a meter on a big road, for example. So there are all kinds of rules for that as well. I've had to design these things on streets and things as well, and there are a lot of rules. There are a lot of rules, and there's one way to do it right, and if you do it wrong, nobody's gonna like know why or how it works. So yeah, that's another thing. Yes. Roads 101 for you. Now go build your own roads in MC and take all of that into account. You know what I'm actually gonna do, guys? I need to think about this road network more. And I need to do some other things today, grocery shopping and, well, lots of other stuff. Maybe some video editing as well, so I might as well close up the episode. No worries, no worries. I'm always here to, like, chat as well, you know? I'm not just here to build in my world. I'm here to have fun, so since it's my work, it's also fun for me. So that does really help. Okay, there's a creeper there, which I don't want near me, so... Let me murder him. Or them. What would a creeper be? A he, a she, a they, them? That's actually a good question. What are mobs? Are we doing a raid? Let me actually check. I feel like I didn't do shit today, by the way, so I'm sorry, but at the same time, we do have a plan. I don't think there are really... Pearlescent Moon is live again, so let's raid Pearlescent Moon. Apparently Pearl is from Australia, I didn't even know, so that makes sense why And they are live always on Wednesdays in the middle of the day. Yes. So we're gonna raid Pearl in a bit, but again in a bit. I want to first do an outro, of course. And I want to give you a little shot at the trains driving around, maybe. Do we have some trains coming in? Oh, yes. Well, one. One and maybe another one? No, not another one. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes, we are getting some more trains soon. So, I'm gonna go that. I'm gonna go this. I'm gonna go that. I'm gonna go that. And I'm gonna call it a day for now. So a train just reserved something. The upper platform is reserved, that way. That just turned red. Yeah, as always, I want to thank you so much for watching, of course. I hope you enjoyed this. Is when... I see. Anyway, yeah, as always, I'd like to thank you for watching. If you're watching this from YouTube, be sure to leave a like. I didn't do a lot today, but we made a plan at least, so that's something for once. We will get there. Maybe I'll do some work off stream, and we shall see. But until next time, I wish you all a good day. And as always, this is ImagineerDave signing off. So, bye-bye. We're gonna raid Pearl, by the way, so stay for that.